Hi everyone, welcome to the Featured Fellows series. This month I'm interviewing Julia Bach, who's been a Sandbox Fellow working at the Teacher Foundation since August 2010. She's been working on a Young Teachers program, which we're going to learn more about during this interview. But first, Julia, can you tell us some more about the mission of the Teacher Foundation and why you feel that this organization has been a good fit for you?
The mission of the Teacher Foundation is to empower educators so that they can bring about a change in the way children are being taught and that they are learning. The organization aims to bring more dynamic, energetic, and purposeful learning into the classrooms in Indian schools. My own background is in teaching itself, and so I spent 3 years in the classroom. So that experience has really helped me understand both the purpose of the organization itself as well as empathize and understand the experiences of teachers in the classrooms with whom we're working.
Well, it certainly sounds like your professional expertise and TTF's mission are a fantastic match. Can you tell us some more about how the opportunity for your project at TTF came about?
My specific project with the Teacher Foundation is to do background research, outline, and implement a program for young people entering the teaching profession. Instead of going through a B.Ed or D.Ed program, they would come to us at Teacher Foundation, work within our style of learning and engagement, and develop the skills necessary to be active and become a teacher in the classroom. The program came about after visiting school after school and hearing numerous principals talk about how difficult it was to change the style of teaching that so many educators had after they had numerous years and years of experience. And after careful discussions with other members of the Teacher Foundation staff and directors, it came about that this new project, working with young teachers before they had habits and routines that stifle true learning and conceptual understanding, we should work with them at that stage in their process.
How do you see the work that you're doing successfully addressing some of the shortcomings in India's education system?
The way the Teacher Foundation works right now is that they're striving to move away from rote learning, instill methods of positive discipline, and purposeful lesson planning in the teachers that they're already working with. So moving in that line, this project works with teachers to develop positive habits in terms of how can they teach conceptual understanding to their students, how can they enforce positive discipline, how do they create a classroom of compassionate learners. And this project, working with young teachers, is introducing these habits and ideas and principles before some of the negative aspects that we see in the Indian education system become routine and standardized. And so the way this project works is to develop these positive skills in teachers ahead of time.
Julia, now that your project is underway, can you tell us about some of the milestones that you've accomplished and where you see this project going over the next few months?
What I've done so far is engage with a lot of different people who are involved in the education system. For example, I've interviewed current teachers, I've interviewed B.Ed and D.Ed students, I've interviewed students themselves about what makes a good teacher. I've talked to college students at various different places from Bangalore as well as Hubli area. And in order to get a sense of what is going on in the B.Ed and D.Ed programs, what are teachers required to do in their classrooms, and what works in learning. So I've done, in addition to the interviews and the classroom observations, I've conducted surveys and done literature review to figure out what are the best practices in effective teacher professional development and what are the best practices in instruction for new teachers. Moving forward, it's going to be busy. We are determining how to recruit students, fleshing out the actual courses, how many courses are we offering, what is the content going to be, what reading materials are we offering, and what are the assignments that they're going to be required.
Julia, thanks so much for sharing some details about the work that you've been doing at the Teacher Foundation. On more general terms, can you tell us what some of your biggest learnings have been working at TTF and working in the Sandbox overall?
Coming to work in India was something new for me. So my experience visiting, observing, and interviewing teachers and students has been really exciting and interesting. I feel I've learned so much about how the system itself works, as well as some of the challenges and solutions that people are coming up with. In my own work, I've been constantly impressed with how collaborative a work environment is and the ways people work together to reach solutions. I think the thing that sticks with me most is how creative people are. Constantly thinking about how can we as an organization or how can I as an individual work towards fixing this problem or addressing this challenge in particular. And so that's really refreshing and exciting to be part of that environment.